Fatula Dvorak last updated 0545, August 14, 2017. White nationalists carry torches on the grounds of the University of Virginia, on the eve of a planned Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. Opinion: U.S. President Donald Trump lit every one of those torches in Charlottesville. Yes, the white supremacists have always been with us. A parade of racist bigots is no surprise to anyone familiar with our history, especially those who have been the target of hatred and violence for centuries. But when a mob of white men marched in Charlottesville carrying flaming torches on Friday night, Saturday NZ time, shouting "Heil Trump" as the curtain raiser for a day of violent clashes with counter-protesters that left 3 people dead, they showed the world that America is once again playing with fire. U.S. President Donald Trump: we condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry and violence on many sides. On many sides. And Trump was the one with the match. Read more: Trump under fire over weak response to white nationalists. Former NZ rugby player catches killer driver at U.S. race rally. White supremacist rally linked to 3 deaths following helicopter crash. U.S. President Donald Trump on the defensive over fatal race clashes. 1 killed amid chaotic scenes at white supremacist rally in U.S. clash on eve of white supremacy rally in Charlottesville. A white supremacist carries the Confederate flag as he walks past counter-demonstrators in Charlottesville, Virginia. The symbolism was not subtle. Torches, witch hunts, flaming crosses, they all stretch back to our country's founding. All those white power brothers knew exactly the kind of fear they were trying to evoke, even if their tiki torches came from Home Depot's end-of-the-season patio sale. The Nazi and Confederate flags were equally chilling to the millions of Americans who lost relatives in the Holocaust. In the fight against Hitler, I have vivid memories of relentless racial oppression, including lynchings, church bombings and assassinations at the hands of the Ku Klux Klan and other white power terrorists. Now we're live streaming that very same hatred, while Trump looks the other way. It was 90 years ago that Fred Trump, Donald Trump's father, was arrested for failing to disperse at a Ku Klux Klan rally in Queens that sounded a lot like the scene at Charlottesville. White nationalists carry torches on the grounds of the University of Virginia, on the eve of a planned Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. Except today, there are no hoods. Donald Trump gave everyone permission to take those hoods off with his winks, nods and refusal to take a moral stand on racial hatred and intimidation during his campaign and during the first 6 months of his presidency. Had already spent years questioning the birthplace and legitimacy of former U.S. President Barack Obama, the nation's first black commander-in-chief. And the haters loved him for it. On Saturday, Sunday NZT, the president stayed silent at his New Jersey golf club 4 hours, even as former KKK Grand Wizard David Duke declared Charlottesville a turning point for a movement that aims to fulfill the promises of Donald Trump. A white supremacist militia member stands in front of clergy counter-protesting during rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. First, he offered a vague tweet condemning hatred without any explicit reference to the hundreds of men, some wearing red "Make America Great Again" hats, who chanted "White Lives Matter, you will not replace us and Jews will not replace us." It wasn't until her 20-year-old from Ohio plowed his car into a crowd of peaceful counter-demonstrators, injuring 19 and killing 1 woman, that Trump addressed the terrorist attack on his own soil. We all must be united, condemn all that hate stands for. There is no place for this kind of violence in America. Let's come together as one. Donald J. Trump at Real Donald Trump, August 12, 2017. I'm in Bedminster for meetings, press conference on VA, all that we have done, and are doing, to make it better, but Charlottesville sad. Donald J. Trump at Real Donald Trump, August 12, 2017. White supremacists clash with counter-protesters during a rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. We condemn in the strongest possible terms this egregious display of hatred, bigotry and violence on many sides. On many sides, he said. Wrong. There is only one side, former Vice President Joe Biden succinctly replied on Twitter. Trump is so afraid of offending his Tiki tribe that he didn't even own his flaccid statement with I on Sunday morning, Monday NZT. His daughter Ivanka Trump finally called out the cancer that is at the heart of this domestic terrorism. There should be no place in society for racism, white supremacy and neo-Nazis, she tweeted. 12. There should be no place in society for racism, white supremacy and neo-Nazis. Ivanka Trump at Ivanka Trump, August 13, 2017. 22. We must all come together as Americans and be one country united. Charlottesville, Ivanka Trump at Ivanka Trump, August 13, 2017. She, however, is not the commander-in-chief. We are the ones who have to extinguish the blaze our president sparked. Democrat, Republican, Independent, it doesn't matter. Everyone must reject what's been unleashed in this country. And that's already happening. Former Arkansas Republican Governor Mike Huckabee, the father of Trump's press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, tweeted, "White supremacy crap is worst kind of racism. It's evil and perversion of God's truth to ever think our Creator values some above others." Republican Senator Orrin Hatch of Utah agreed we should call evil by its name. My brother didn't give his life fighting Hitler for Nazi ideas to go unchallenged here at home. The torches in Charlottesville are a dangerous sideshow in America's ongoing culture war. We need to stop attributing the resurgence of racism to income inequality or job loss and stop tucking it into the great red v blue, progressive v conservatism, urban v rural struggle that is at the heart of debate in our society. The University of Virginia, where the white extremists marched with the lit torches, is the home of James Davison Hunter, the sociologist who helped define the contemporary American culture war. In 1992, as the American presidential election was rocked by the debate over a TV character's single motherhood, Murphy Brown Hunter reminded us that these cultural skirmishes aren't just rhetoric or political froth. Cumulatively, these disputes amount to a fundamental struggle over the first principles of how we will order our life together, Hunter wrote in the Washington Post. Through these seemingly disparate issues we find ourselves, in other words, in a struggle to define ourselves as Americans and what kind of society we want to build and sustain. Yes, there are many sides in the culture war that the racists keep trying to hitch their flaming wagon to. But this abomination that happened in Charlottesville over the weekend is not up for debate. It's not a cultural take or a political platform. Racism, bigotry and terrorism in the name of white nationalism isn't side. It's a poison. And doing anything other than calling it what it is, defining it and snuffing it out is simply un-American. The Washington Post.